Pokémon is one of my top 3 favorite video game franchises. The first video game I ever played was The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time on my dad's 64. The first one I ever owned, Pokemon Red on the Game Boy Color. You see, my dad needed me to stop hogging his N64 all day so he could finish his own games. So the solution was to get me my own console and game, and I gotta say that worked perfectly. And the first game I picked out myself without any input from my dad was Monster Hunter Freedom Unite on the PSP. Those three franchises are baked into my life, but only one of those has not disappointed me lately. Monster Hunter Wilds is a run for another day. Today we're going to dive into a different mess. Today we're breaking down. Is Pokemon Legends CA any good? To put you into a little bit of context, me and my wife, we are like the biggest fans of Pokemon ever, but we're going to shove aside our franchise bias, which is actually a lot. We grow up watching the anime and playing the games. Like my wife, despite being an athlete, she loved to, like, after running a triathlon or something like that, get into a couch and watch the anime. So yeah, there's a lot of bias. And we're tossing that out the window. The idea of this video is to point the good, the bad, and the absolutely awful things this game has. And probably also the things it doesn't have. While thinking like an adult that has bills to pay and doesn't have that much money to spare. So we actually have to carefully choose the games we want to get. Palworld. It is Palworld. Before we start, I have to address the elephant in the room. I don't even own Legends ZA. At first, I plan on making this video using footage from non-commentary channels or stuff like that, giving them full credit. But a coworker was cool enough to lend me his copy for a day, which I played for about 8 hours just for this review. Not on a stream, not even on my own account. I wanted zero external influence, no haters hating for fun, no superfans gobbling up whatever the Pokemon company tosses out. Just me and the game. I didn't even hear out my coworker's take. The only reason he lent me this copy is because he straight up hated the game and he wasn't against me borrowing it. He's probably going to sell it too. One final side note. Even though I didn't have the time to play the full game, I know most of it from my friends like Seph and Koko, so I have more knowledge on the game than the footage I have for it. I will try to keep this video as spoiler free as possible, but it will contain some spoilers of the gameplay. Just in case anybody watching this video still wants to get this game despite me pointing out all the bad stuff in this game. Hey, this is all my opinion. I'm not shaming you or telling you how to spend your cash. But if for any reason you still want to spend $60 in a game, then check out the Digimon game. That one is worth a pick. And now, without further ado, let's talk about the first impressions of the game. You boot up the game, and the first thing you gotta do is select your appearance between 4 sets of identical twins. After selecting their name, they let you tweak the appearance a little bit more, so naturally I made him look as canon as possible to the avatar of the channel. The initial customization is nothing crazy though. The game officially starts with a cinematic, and it's here when you realize we are still dealing with the same text-based cutscenes of always. I'm probably not alone here, but I feel like it's time Pokemon steps the game up with some voice acting. Let's skip past the intro and the starter selection. By the way, I picked Totodile, boys! The next important thing to talk about is the battle system itself. The new battle system feels a bit janky, but is novel enough to keep things interesting. The more battles I had, the more I start to like it. Until reality hit. So let's break it down. You can walk around freely with a Zelda-style lock-on to attack, and each move has its own separate cooldown, so as long as you wait it out, moves now have infinite uses, no more PP system. Which sadly means no PP joke, and that's gonna be a minus in my book. What? I said this was going to be an honest review, I have to put every single piece of my mind in here. Something I really liked about this battle system, however, is there is now stealth mechanics, so you can actually sneak attack the opponent, and I actually love that a lot. If you have seen me play Vermintide on stream, you know I love the assassin's backshots. So doing backshots in Pokemon is amazing for me. But after the novelty fades away, it turns just into button mashing. There is no real-time dodge, and even if an attack isn't very effective, what is the option? Not doing anything? The one you want to use is on cooldown, so cheap damage is better than no damage. There's no turns, just throw everything at the enemy. There is no penalty for it. You are not missing a turn on a non-effective attack. I feel like the strategizing Pokemon is known for is out the window now. So that was a roller coaster for me. Started not sure about it, became real fun, I love the stealth section, but then reality hits real quick and I miss the old battle system. But this feels like a good foundation for an even better battle system. I guess we just have to wait for the next installment, see if they do anything with it. I will keep my expectations low because I was not expecting that much after Scarlet and Violet, but somehow they disappoint me. That segues perfectly into exploration, which is the reason I end up liking Scarlet and Violet. And those games were a mess, trust me, I know it. I have a lot of hours in them. The exploration of the diverse environment of Scarlet and Violet was what sold me on that game. Before getting in the game, I was not convinced that this was going to be a good game, but after playing it and exploring the environment, I was convinced that that was a good decision. The game is not perfect, far from it, but it gave me everything I wanted from a Pokemon game since I was a kid. And that will be the open world exploration with the Pokemon in the overworld so I can see them in their natural habitats. And to be fair, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are not that high on my favorite games list. Heck, it's not even that high on my favorite Pokemon games list. For the record, my favorite Pokemon game is Pokemon Black 2, followed real close by Pokemon XD. My favorite part of a game is exploring its world, its scenery. I'm that type of guy that stands on a high point and enjoys the view of the world you play in. And in this game, however, we explore a city. Boy oh boy did I get disappointed when I realized that. The scenery in this game is basically the same city with some parks full of wild Pokemon, or back alleys with sentient trash, or roofs with weird Pokemon and Abra? Well, Abra is a plus in my book. But seeing the same city and park settings over and over again gets boring real fast. I love exploration, and if the exploration in a game feels dull, that's going to be a really bad negative for me. And the worst part is that you use walk everywhere. There is basically no movement option like the ones in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet or Legends Arceus. Nintendo, a small tip. If you're going to sue someone over your riding mechanics, you better use them. And I understand why we have no other mobility options. It's because if you got a bike, you probably explore the city in a couple of minutes and the city will feel even smaller than it already does. If you're gonna make a single city the entire map, you gotta go the extra mile. Make it feel like those Assassin's Creed titles set in one city, where everything feels alive and packed with details. That's the bare minimum I expect for a game that's worth $70 and set on a single city. Black and White even had a better city that felt alive. Again, how is that we keep progressing? I'm getting a little heated over the exploration, so let's move to the graphics. I usually don't play games for the graphics. Wanna know why? Well, I usually don't swear as a person ever, but this requires a swear to get the message across. I've played games that look like ass, but play like heaven. And games that look like heaven but play like ass. And I would rather play the game that looks like ass but plays like heaven. That being said, let's get deeper into the graphics anyway. This right here is Pokemon XD, a game released for the GameCube in 2005. And this Pokemon Battle Revolution, a game released for the Wii in 2007. And this is Pokemon ZA, game released on 2025. Do I need to say more? I'm going to say it more anyway. I believe that Pokemon Scarlet and Violet had better graphics, and this is a game that's supposed to be releasing on the next generation of consoles. So once more, we keep regressing. Will you look at that, my Raichu's evolving into Pikachu. And yes, I know the game is being held back because it also released on the Switch 1, but Scarlet and Violet was also on the Switch 1 and it looked better. In fact, Scarlet and Violet looked better than the Switch 2 version. I believe like Pokemon Stadium looked better than this game, and not because of the graphics, it's because Pokemon Stadium had some charm to it. This looks generic. Anyway, let's do what I always do and ignore the graphics. Let's talk about the rank system. On this game, you go into a battle royale on certain areas of the map where you can defeat a bunch of people, get some points for a promotion ticket, and then you go do your promotion match to rank up. This feels fresh. I would rather take this than games any other day. I almost have no complaining here. Except that there is something that I'm trying really desperate to ignore, but I cannot ignore it. It bothers me. It bothers me a lot. Unfortunately, during the story, you end up skipping a bunch of ranks. Like a really big jump in the ranks. And I dislike that with my entire self.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. It bothers me. It bothers me a lot.
Let's keep talking about gameplay stuff. The research system keeps the collectathon engaging. You got multiple research tasks that you complete by collecting Pokemon rewarding you with mostly TMs. There is no crafting TM mechanic anymore, which I kinda like from a convenience standpoint, and TMs are also infinite. There is also the detective side job, also known as a side quest. They are stupidly repetitive. You gotta give this person a Pokemon, or defeat this single wild Pokemon, or do a bit of walking simulator. These ones get stale real quick and reward you with nothing of substance. It's usually like used berries and a bit of money. Money you don't need because you make a ton of money anyway. So I guess don't do those unless you're a completionist that likes to torture yourself just like me. That didn't stop me from enjoying some of the side missions because some have comedic value. For example, one of the first ones you do is giving a Pikachu to a lady so she can evolve it. She needs it for the Pokédex, and then the Pokédex tells her something like, Raichu is going to electrocute you, and she realized that was a mistake with the "oh no" monkey face. That actually made me jiggle, but sadly I was not recording myself at the time. Also, there is this guy who collects Poké Balls you throw at nothing. Talk about a homie. I wish Palworld had a bro like that. Oh yeah, I realized I forgot to talk about something important during the exploration, and is these color screws, or whatever the name is. These are supposed to be the reason you want to explore the city. They are usually found on these platforming challenges, if we can even call them that. I'm using the word platforming really loosely here. You can use these to snack or upgrade Canary plush toys, which give passive like extra experience. And there is 100 of these screws. I am getting Korok Seeds flashbacks. And finally, after all that, I have to tackle the big question. The reason why you're probably still watching this video. Is this game fun? Yes it is. If you like Pokemon just like me, you will probably put hundreds of hours into this game. It is not a bad game. It's just okay. I have seen a bunch of people saying it's not even worth playing it for free or sailing the 7 seas for it, but that is just pushing it. However, the main and probably biggest issue, the thing that makes this game horrible and indefensible, is that this is not a $70 game. This game has less content than Palworld, the game Nintendo is so desperately trying to shut down, because the Pokemon Company is incompetent and cannot make a good creature collecting game these days. That's why Nintendo is suing them. This game gets washed by Palworld, a $15 game that goes on sale from time to time for $10 or less. All the negative points above this Pokemon game wouldn't matter if the game was like $15 or less, 20 if the DLC came bundled with the base game. But justifying $70 for a shell of a game, let alone $100 if you grab the DLC. Hell, let alone $550 if you get the Switch 2 to play the Switch 2 version with the DLC. Nintendo, raising the price of your games means that naturally gamers got to raise their standards. You cannot expect people to accept anything you make if you keep raising the price while lowering the quality and love you put into making these games. And for $70, my brothers and sisters, you got to have higher standards than this. And to be clear, this is not used for Pokemon. The whole industry is starting to make more expensive games that are worse than most of the games from the good old days. The price-quality relationship of modern gaming, however, is a topic for another video, so I will not be talking about that today. I guess if you or your parents pull in like 20k a month, you won't worry about pricing. But for folks like me, especially here in Latin America, that money is way tighter. If you're really planning to drop $60 on something, put it toward the Digimon game instead. It has a ton more content, better gameplay, better graphics, and a better story. For me, I'll have to wait until the Digimon game goes on sale or drops in price in a couple of years. At least the Digimon games do that. Nintendo never drops their prices, they never go in sale, and with cash that tight, don't expect me to buy this game anytime soon. My money is not what it used to be, and I really need to handle adult stuff like a house, a new phone, a car, and my family. So starting now, I will be more careful with my game, and I will only pick games that I feel it's worth my money. Doesn't matter if it's $60, if the game is worth it. So I guess you guys will not see me play ZA in this channel again. Unless, I'm actually planning to start doing a series of, let's call them deep dives for now. Me playing entire games, voicing them over just like this video, but having full story, full mechanics, maybe trivia, maybe jokes, and those will probably be longer and take longer to make than this one. For the record, the making of this video took 3 weeks. With a 9 to 7 job and streaming daily, it was really hard to put this video together quick enough. So soon I will start streaming less, but I plan to put in that time into making shorts and videos. And those videos will be this deep dive series. I plan on playing all the Pokemon mainline games, and if for any reason this video is too good, I will probably put that money into getting the games I'm missing. And these will not be used for Pokemon. I will do this for all the franchises I've played and loved at some point, like Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh! And even Mario. And yes, I will rank all the games within their respective franchises. So naturally, if I keep doing this series and the money permits it, I'll probably revisit CA years down. Let's hope it gets better somehow, and we'll see where it actually ranks between all the Pokemon games. And that will be all for this video. I gotta start working on that Pokemon Red and Blue deep dive that is going to be the first video I'm going to make in this channel after this one. It would probably also take, I don't know, like a month or something to publish, so we might see that one either at the end of November or the start of December, maybe, we'll see. So anyway, like always, been a pleasure having you here, and until the next time, goodbye, keep smiling, and peace.